Hey friends, welcome back to that 1870s homestead. My name's Rachel, and today is a fun video, I think. This is just leftover chicken. I'm making Todd and I lunch. I was gonna do a video on another topic, making homemade makeup, and I was like, how about it just be a quick afternoon hangout with Rachel. We're gonna make lunch, and then we're gonna make some makeup, because I'm all out. And the prices, you guys, I don't care if I can afford it or not. I honestly, it's ridiculous. I went shopping online for foundation, and it's one of those things that, you know, I think the bottle I'm using, and this is gonna sound terrible, is like 7 years old. I usually have a bottle of winter foundation and a bottle of summer foundation. And the summer one I replaced 2 years ago, still going strong. But I'm like, no, When I was researching it, I think the cheapest organic one was like $15 for something I use so little of. Well, maybe it makes sense if it's gonna last 7 years, but I'm just too cheap sometimes. So we're gonna try to make it. But for lunch, I had half a jar, maybe 3/4 of a jar of chicken, canned. I'm going in with 3 to 4 ounces of cream cheese. I'm gonna add in some cowboy candy. Let me get a spoon, probably a good heaping tablespoon. And then we're gonna add in some cheddar cheese. And if you have the time, crumbled bacon. And we're making some basically chicken jalapeno popper melts. I just went down to the freezer and pulled out, I mentioned in a recent video, I've been making my sandwich bread in smaller loaves. So I'll get 2 of these for each single recipe. Todd and I can't eat that big loaf by ourselves. So, you know, before homemade bread goes stale on you. So I am stirring this up, and then we're gonna grill it. And I think it's gonna be yummy. Sounds yummy to me. I was looking up chicken melt recipes because I knew I had this leftover in the fridge. What kind of good chicken melt can I make? And this one just jumped right out at me. And I think you can do these like open-faced on like English muffins or something like that, and serve them, you know, for a party, a gathering. Top it with some crumbled bacon. So I'll meet you over at the stove. We'll get these cooked up, and this might be something that your family will really enjoy on a fun, warm afternoon. Even serve it up with some soup. But we're just having sandwiches today. That's my homemade bread. Okay. Oh, I have a fun thing to share with you guys. So we grow lemon balm. So this is lemon balm. And chamomile we harvest from chamomile that just grows back wild every single year. And we had our grandbaby over the other day. Let me get this heating up. To stay the night for the first time. And Granny was not gonna chance that he did not have a peaceful sleep, at least try. So we made him a little toddler tea with some chamomile and lemon balm that he had after his dinner. And if you're gonna do that, you should, give them their tea, you know, well before bedtime. I would say like an hour and a half, so that they have time to use the bathroom, you know, and not keep them up because of a wet diaper or something like that. So probably around 6:45 or so, we had our chamomile tea and a snack, and he loved it. I didn't put any sweetener in it. You know, you serve it to him, of course, lukewarm. And he took his first drink out of the straw, and it was like, He liked it. All right, so we'll get our bread nice and buttered. Do you guys leave your butter out on the counter? I know that there's two schools of thought to that. Either you're tried and true, you leave it on the counter no matter what, or you're terrified of the idea, and butter's never supposed to be left out at room temperature. Butter stays out on the counter. It will get used far faster than it could ever go bad. Okay. All right. So I think we're going to get a couple good ones out of this. I'm going to turn my eye down so that this filling has plenty of time. I'm going to have to use my hands here. Plenty of time to heat through. Okay. Next one. And this looks like it is going to make plenty that we can have it for one more lunch. All right, before I turn these over, I'm going to just sprinkle a little garlic powder on them. Do this very carefully. Press. Doesn't that look yummy? Yum, 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 yum. I had such a hankering for fresh fruit lately. So Todd bought me some from the store this week with our groceries. So I was telling you, like I have this, I don't know, I have a bunch of quirks about what I'll spend money on versus what I won't spend money on. I can remember, I'll use an example. My sister came to my house and she lives in Utah. And she was like, I don't remember how long ago this was, but actually I think it was both of my sisters. Kitchen hand towels. I will use them till they have holes in them. Like, I don't care if they're stained. I mean, they're utility towels. Like, to me, like, I'm not a decorative person per se for that instance. And she was like, oh gosh, we need to buy you new towels for your kitchen. I'm like, why? They just get messy and stained anyway. That's one example. Like, I was folding laundry, bathroom towels. I know for a fact I have towels that are 20 years old. They were like towels that from the house I grew up in that I've carried with me. And so none of our towels match. They're all just random towels. Many of them are torn, but I will use towels until they're not useful anymore. I don't know when that ever happens because I'm pretty sure I've never thrown a towel away. So we'll see. But makeup's one of those things too. Anything like personal care wise for me, if I can't find it on clearance, I rarely buy it. Now, I will say 2 years ago, I must have had a weak moment or I thought better of myself and I invested in a set of the Thrive Cosmetics line, which was just outrageously expensive. I do like it, but like those are weak moments. They're not natural occurrences. So like if I get my nails or like a manicure or a pedicure, it's like for a wedding that happens like rarely, and it's like my own kid's wedding. So I had one done for my son's wedding, one done for my daughter's wedding, but I don't spend money on myself. Anyway, I told you that, right? My foundation is probably no line 7 years old because I'm not a makeup wearing person every day either. But when you need it, and like I'm down to the last little drop of the bottle and having to use lotion to make it extend how much surface coverage it covers. So I researched a lot this morning. I've made my own blush before. I've made my own lotion bars, like soaps, all that kind of stuff, shampoo, face mask, all kinds of stuff. And I swear by all of it. It's definitely better for you. You know what you're putting on your body. Your body's the largest organ of your body. Did you know that, your skin? So we often think what we're putting in our body, what we're eating, what we're consuming, but what are you putting on your body with respect to toxic chemicals going on your hair, ladies, men, whoever you are? So just something to think about. I'm going to finish my lunch. We're going to get to making some replacement foundation and see if it works. Okay, hopefully I don't have food in my teeth, but we're going to get up close and personal to talk about this little concoction I'm going to make. So I recently had to go to Charleston quickly, and when I went, I didn't have any lotion. So while I was down there, I picked up this from a grocery store. Gold Bond, vitamin C, and it has alpha hydroxy acids in it, which is good for our skin. And I just did a bunch of research, and what you're going to find on the line is either kind of like a powder base, foundation powder, or something that is a spreadable foundation with your fingers with a sponge, however you apply it. I will just tell you, I'm a lazy makeup applier, and I've used my fingers all my life. Shame, shame. I know. Everything about it is all just very shameful. But I have no shame, so I'm just being transparent with how I treat my face, because I know a lot of you ask. I don't have the greatest skin, but I have decent skin. It's probably just genes. So almost all the ingredients were basically the same, and I just realized I'm missing one. It was like whatever, if you want to just do powder, let's just stick with that. Cocoa, cinnamon are the two primary for colorants when you're talking natural ingredients, like not buying something that you wouldn't already have in your house. I'm going to be adding bentonite clay because I have that on hand, and it's good for oily skin. So my forehead does get oily. My face down here is pretty dry. So another option would be kaolin clay, which is more commonly found in makeup. And the bentonite clay is a good detoxifier. So it will keep my skin do a detox as I'm wearing it. Other things, other ingredients that you could think of for colorant, and we're just going to play with this today and see what we come up with. Ginger, cayenne, sage, they were all common. So I've got out, and then I think you have to know the tone of your skin. And I learned a cool trick about that if you look at the veins in your arms, let's see if I can. Veins in your arms. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera. Mine are blue-purple, and if they're more green-blue, so blue-purple, I have cool skin. I think that's right. And green-purple, no, green-blue, you have warm skin. I definitely don't have warm skin. So I am pale as pale can be in the winter. I burn first, and then I obtain a very freckly tan. So that's a little bit about me. Other ingredients that you can use are arrowroot powder, cornstarch, or tapioca flour, which I'm using tapioca today for more bulk, I guess. And if I just use the lotion, it's going to be like kind of a tinted moisturizer versus something with a little bit of coverage. So let's start by adding 2 heaping tablespoons of tapioca flour. And I started with 1.5 ounces of lotion, because it said to start with 3 ounces of liquid base. Basically, your coconut oil, shea butter, whatever the recipe calls that you might look up. And to me, that was like a lot of makeup for how I use it. So I'm gonna spread this in, and I might need a different utensil because this is getting really thick. And I'm thinking that this is gonna make like I don't know, do you see those like tins that are pressed foundation almost? And let's see what we can come up with. Let me get this out of my way. But that being said, I'm gonna be excited if this turns out, and I'm gonna try it with you guys. Maybe not on my face, but on my hands, so we'll see. Do I get any coverage from it? How does it feel? Do I smell like a chocolate bar? Because I don't want to smell like a chocolate bar walking around. And I looked up the ingredients in this lotion. For the most part, I can pronounce everything. I know what it is. There was a couple ingredients in there that I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it, but I would just need to research it. Dimethicone, like that sounds interesting, and niacinamide. But other than that, everything's good. Oh, another thing that you might want to consider putting in your foundation if you're going to make it and try it is zinc. And zinc will give you that SPF that a lot of foundations have. So if I had zinc, and I would add that. And I think that there's a right type of zinc to buy for, topical use purposes. So it's coming together pretty good. I'm just trying to get all the little clumps out. Don't want any clumps. But when I made my blush, I used ground hibiscus leaves for the colorant, and I love it. Okay, pretty good. Now we'll start adding our color. And I'm gonna go with kind of what I saw for quantities based off light, a pale person like me. Okay. It was a half of a tablespoon, but that was for, hey, stop. That was for the 3 ounces of the base. And then since I'm only using 1.5 ounces, so we're gonna go in with, we'll just start with a teaspoon. And then I'm gonna go in with, now, bentonite clay versus kaolin clay. Bentonite clay is much higher acidity, so careful with it. I think your pH of your skin is naturally like a 5 or somewhere around that, and bentonite clay is an 8. So you don't want to take your skin out of balance, I guess is my point. And I have been drinking this actually. That's another, I'm going in with a 1/4 teaspoon of bentonite clay. And I've been drinking that in water. I will just make a glass of bentonite clay water, and it's a good liver detoxifier. Helps heavy metals. Some people say it's a wives' tale. I'm like, doesn't hurt to try it. So heavy metals are found in a lot of our foods, just from, the ground and the earth, if you're buying processed foods. And that can be hard for your liver to digest those heavy metals. And you have to be careful with it so it doesn't throw your bathroom cycle off. Ooh, that's pretty dark. It's looking kinda darkish. I'm gonna add, I think, some ginger to mine to see if I can lighten this up a little bit. And I do have a little bit of a yellow tone to my skin, not a ton. It's a yellow peachy. The bulk of my ancestry is Scottish and English. Pretty smooth, nice. It's a very nice whipped texture. moisture using the lotion first. And if anything, we can add more tapioca powder to lighten it up. So I'm gonna go in with just a pinch of ginger. One more tablespoon of powder. Let's see if we can't get that light, because right now that is, I would be happy with that as a summer tan. So what if you make or have any experience making homemade makeup, leave it in the comments below. I typically love Wellness Mama for inspiration and blogs. And so I of course started with her first, but I'm pretty sure what I saw, I looked at so many recipes this morning. I'm pretty sure what I saw was just, I don't think that made a difference whatsoever in lightening this. Was, you know, the powder. And Mama's got enough wrinkles. We need to putty that in. Well, we're just gonna try it. Let's see. Oh, you shut up. How does that look so dark but not go on dark on the skin at all? Okay. So here's a hand. Focus on the hand. So I'm trying to identify all the freckles. I've got 4 prominent freckles on that hand, and my knuckles are kind of reddish. So, what is it? Ooh, it feels so good, which of course it's the lotion. So I'm putting it on really heavy so you can see the color. I wouldn't do this on my face, but you can definitely see the color on the skin. But let's rub it in like as if I was putting it on my skin or on my face. It feels nice and light. It's nice. Wonder if we did the tattoo, will that cover that tattoo at all? Let's see. Not really. So I think it is still just kind of like a tinted moisturizer, which is fine. I normally use that kind of style of, I guess I'm getting these clumps though. What is the clumps from? I don't want clumps when I rub it in. Maybe the powder. Oh, it feels like, it feels so soft. Interesting. Can you see a difference in the hand? I think so. I need to try it on my face once. Maybe I'll post on Instagram of before and after with it on my face. But that's super fun. Okay. Now, let's store it. I'll show you how I'm going to store it. Voila, mason jar. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. You know what? I'm just going to keep working this a little bit. Just because I wasn't happy. Was there like some clumps that I didn't get worked in? But anyway, I was saying, if you guys make your own makeup or any kind of beauty products, I'm all about that. I feel like I've done it all. From just about everything I put on my body, and even not going to the hairdresser, but once every 2 years max. 2 years max for if I've jacked up my hair from cutting it myself and I need somebody else to cut it for me. But I just cut my own hair and all that good stuff. Okay. Let's see, I think that's looking good. It's a neat product. It really is. Like, that's it. It's not falling off. So I'm just gonna store it in this. And honestly, when I put on makeup, it's like a tiny bit at a time. So this will last easily a year, I'm guessing. And I don't, like I said, I'm not an everyday makeup wearing person. Isn't that pretty? Might be a fun girls' party thing to do. If you have a bunch of girlfriends and you want to have them over and just everybody sit around and try to find their own perfect blend. How fun would that be? Okay, I just posted my Instagram story on using the foundation, and so many questions. And honestly, I was nervous the first time I used it too, because if I remember when I showed you and I rolled it on with my fingers, some of the binding agents, the flowers or the clay or whatever, like rolled off my skin. And the first time I put it on my face, it did that too with my fingers. But I found, which I've never been a brush applier before, if you just brush it on, it does really well, which I already have some on, but I just thought I'd jump on here and show you how I've been applying it. And it gives you this nice powder foundation feel, which I can't see in the mirror because I don't have my glasses on right now, so hopefully it's coming through. Let me see. Yeah, that's just a blemish, so ignore that. It's just an age spot. I think it works well, and it comes like you're left with like it's not leaving my brush all gunky. It just blends right nice into your skin, and it does have a little bit of a cocoa essence, I guess. See, but the brush stays nice and clean. And your skin, guys, my skin feels so smooth. So I love it. But I wanted to show you how I'm applying it. Using a brush is the best way. I haven't tried a sponge yet, but thought that would answer some questions. You're seeing me using it in real time. Double coat, I guess. A buildable foundation. How about that? But yeah, nice. I like it. See you guys later.